Hey there everyone, welcome to the CFA course level 1 material. So this is just an introduction video to explain to you some of the important points, some strategies on how to study for the exam. And then after this video, you're going to really start the course, the first learning module of quantitative methods. So that's how we're going to start this. The material that you're going to see after this video, or all the other videos, I guess, with the material of the exam are going to be in the same order as the table of contents of your exam, okay? Of the ecosystem or the book, if you have the books with the material for the exam. Okay, so if you have the books or you have the ecosystem, you should know that it starts with quantitative methods and finish in ethics. So that's how we're going to be doing here as well. We're going to start in quantitative methods, all learning modules. Then you're going to start the second one, that's economics, and you're going to go all the way until ethics. Okay, those videos, they're going to be a summarization, or they're going to be a compilation, if you may, okay, of the material of the content on the official material. Okay, so for example, when we start the first video after this one, we're going to be talking about rate of returns, which is the first learning module on quantitative methods for the level 1. And then after that, the second, the third, until we finish all the videos for quantitative methods. Then we start economics, and you keep going that way all the way to ethics. So that's how the course is going to be. Of course, you should complement the videos with reading the material, doing the ecosystem, the questions and the problems that you have there. You have almost 3,000 questions on the ecosystem available for you. Okay, so use it. Okay? I always remind you, when you do when you sign up for the exam, okay, when you register for the exam and you paid your fee, you're going to get access to the CFA ecosystem. There you're going to have all the lessons, means the books, the material that you need to study, and you're going to have the ecosystem questions, where you're going to have like practice problems and questions related to the material. You're going to have the mock exams posted there in the ecosystem. You're going to have flashcards. You're going to have a lot of different options to prepare. So what are we doing here? Our proposal here is to create the videos, okay, to make it relatively easier for you to digest the material. But we also provide the group that you are in when you sign up for the course. We put you in a group where you can send the questions, you can get the updates, you can form study groups. And I'll be constantly monitoring those groups to make sure that if one question is posted, it's going to be answered as quick as possible. Okay, so that's very important during this process, that you really participated, not only watching the videos. You can set up video calls with me as you need it. Okay, so for motivation purpose, to prepare a study schedule, for even questions related to the material, this is all included on the courses that you purchase from us. Okay. So again, we're trying to offer you here the best as possible preparation for the exam, but we really need your commitment as well, with time, your commitment in studying the material, your commitment that you're going to pass all the exams at the first attempt. I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And if you set up this goal and really follow strategies and guidelines, I think you're going to get it. It's not impossible. We have several cases of participants of the courses that did exactly that. Okay, well, so again, welcome. What I'm going to do now is just give you a little overview on how to study or how to absorb the material, and at the same time I want to explain to you why the CFA Institute asks you to study those topics for the exam. There's a reason why the topics are designed the way they are. Okay, so let's go directly and explain that to you. So there you go. What you see here, it's like I want to say, I'm going to give an overview on how to study or how to prepare, which strategies you're going to use, very quick. Okay, and also I'm going to explain to you how the CFA curriculum was designed for the exam level 1. So let's start. First of all, for those that don't speak English as the first language, it's extremely important that you practice the vocabulary. okay? The finance or financial vocabulary. The vocabulary they're gonna find on the most important newspapers, right? In the world related to finance. So here put the Financial Times, you have Bloomberg, you have the Wall Street Journal, but you can choose anyone as you want, as long as in English, and start reading every day. You don't need to sign up you don't need to get a subscription. You can if you want. I strongly recommend you should get at least a subscription of one of them. But if you do not want, at least follow the headlines on the Market Watch or the market section of those papers. Right? So at least you get exposed to the vocabulary, which is very important. Okay, vocabulary is very important. Keywords are very important when you're studying for the CFA exam. You need to kind of relate the keyword that you find in the question to a particular formula or a particular concept that will help you to answer the questions. Okay, there are a lot of strategies you can use here as you're gonna progress on the course. You're gonna see it. Okay, you can read the answers and then use the answers to kind of like guide you through how to answer that question. Okay. Most of the questions I'm predicting in your exam are going to be conceptual questions, not numerical. Level 1, I believe, is going to be about 70% or more questions are going to be conceptual questions. Okay, so in that case, you're going to really need to kind of develop some strategies to make sure that you get the keywords or you can get some kind of clue that the problem is given, the question is given to you so you can answer in an easier way. That's in the event where you have very hard time not remembering the concept. You kind of like just saw it a little bit when you're studying. Now it's a question in your exam and you don't remember very well. Well, the strategy of elimination might help you here. Okay, and the strategy of elimination, it's very well accomplished when you remember keywords. So the keyword, it's something I'm going to stress quite often as we go on the course, when you progress in the course. All right, so there you go. Practice the vocabulary, very important. Make that a habit. All right, now I'm going to show it to you how those modules, right, the interaction of the modules, everything that you see here, right, in this picture, those are the topics that you need to know for the CFA exam level 1. Right? So ethics I put here first because that's how it used to be. Ethics was the first topic, but they changed, I believe, like in 2019, a little bit before the pandemic or right after the pandemic, they changed and put ethics in the end. Nevertheless, I like to explain this way. So take a look. What I highlight here in red, those rectangles in red here, ethics, QM, economics, FSA, and corporate assurance. That's what I call the foundation, the base. So those are the first topics you need to know for the level 1 exam. Okay. I want to call your attention that quantitative methods, economics, FSA, okay, they now have prerequisites for the exam. That's new. Okay, that starts in 2024. That's new. So some concepts of statistics, economics, and accounting, which is FSA, pretty much you're gonna need to know before starting. So I advise you to do a review on those topics, like they call the CFA prerequisites. Now, my opinion here, you do not need to go over the prerequisites, like several books, I believe like 3 books of prerequisites, okay, and then start studying the level 1 material that requires the prerequisites. My suggestion, it's what you're going to see here. We're going to progress with the course normally, and if there are concepts that you go, as you go progress on the studies, there are some concept that requires you know something previously, like a prerequisite, then you could go and check not just that particular topic and then continue studying. I think that would be more effective, more efficient than if you cover all the prerequisites before and then you start studying for the level 1 material. Okay, so that's how we're going to be doing here. So for example, if you're talking about quantitative methods, you're going to need to remember what is a probability distribution. What is that? What is the normal distribution? What is the t-distribution? What are distribution of probabilities? You need to know that, right? You need to know basic concepts of calculating average, right? Understanding what is standard deviation means. So those are the prerequisites for QM. Economics, you need to know what are supply, what's demand, what happened if the supply increased, the demand increased, what happened to the price. what happened to what is the concept of elasticity. Those now are prerequisite. In FSA, basic accounting, it's now prerequisite. So it's very important. If you have the accounting background, you have an advantage here. If you remember debits and credits, what you debit, what you credit, when you do a journal entry, this is fundamental here to understand FSA, financial statement analysis. Right? So now becoming prerequisites for you. So anyhow, the red boxes here are what we call the foundation knowledge. So you need to know this, okay, as a foundation. Once you understand well economics, statistics, accounting, and the corporate issuers, which is corporate finance, okay, then you're ready to understand investments. So that's what you see in the middle, right here, right, in this magenta color here, right, onyx color, I guess, I don't know. You have 4 blocks. Those are the investment categories. So you have equity investments, fixed income, derivatives, and alternative investments. So there you go. To understand equity valuation, for example, to understand how to calculate fixed income prices, valuations, risk, it's important to understand economics. You need to understand quantitative methods. You need to know what is a discounting method. What is the time value of money, future, present? This is important for you to understand equity, for you to understand derivatives. If you want to price, the pricification, pricing of derivatives involves the concept of time value of money. So you need to understand time value of money, which is in QM. Then it'll be easier for you to understand the concept of the investments. That's why organized this way. Anyway, so now you know equity. Fixed income, derivatives, and alternative investments are the 4 categories of investments that you need to know for the exam. Parentheses. Now, it's extremely important that you do a good job understanding all of them, especially fixed income, derivatives, and alternative investments on level 1, 2, because when you get to level 3, friends, you're going to need it to remember basic concepts of those investments, because you're going to have to put in a portfolio and you're going to have to start measuring the risk or arbitrage opportunities or hedging strategies related to different investments. So you're going to add some alternative investments in your portfolio. What's going to happen, right? So you need to understand what it is. What is the concept of the correlation, for example, between alternative investments and equity, right? Alternative investments and fixed income. Because if there's zero correlation or even negative correlation, that's actually good for diversification. That's what you're going to see when you start talking about portfolio management. All right? Anyway, so now that you know the basics, the foundation, you know the investments, now you're ready to manage a portfolio. So that's why the last topic that you see here, let's see, okay, right there. The last topic is portfolio management, right there, okay, this one. That's your last one on the exam. Of course, we have ethics now is the last book, but you remember, ethics is something, let's say, it's basic knowledge. I need to have professional ethics before I start anything. So you see it ethics like it's something that's kind of like in parallel, right? To do this. Of course, you don't need to understand any ethics concepts to answer equity, fixed income, derivatives, and alternative investments most of the time. But of course, ethics is important for our job as a financial analyst, right? We're working in a financial market. Most of our colleagues are managing someone else's money. We have some kind of responsibility. We need professional ethics. The CFA Institute, it's very, very picky is not the word here, but it's very, very in favor of all of the members, all charter holders and candidates. They behave in the most ethical, professional manner. And I agree 100% with the CFA Institute on that regard. All right, friends, so there we go. This is just to give you an idea how those topics interact, because I believe that if you can see the whole picture, now I know I need to study QM, I know why I need to study economics, I know why I need to study the others. So it makes a little bit easier to navigate, that's in my opinion, or at least give you a little extra motivation to navigate the content as you go forward. All right, good. Almost in the end here. So now some strategies for you reading the official material. You know, or if you don't know now, you will know that I only use the official material on my lectures, right? I believe that the official material is enough. That's all you need, right? Remember, you paid a lot of money to get registered for the exam. You didn't pay only to get a little seat, no, with a computer in a room so you can take the exam. That's not what the registration fee is for only. The registration fee includes the ecosystem, access to the ecosystem, meaning includes access to books, access to questions, access to different tools to prepare. So why do you need more, I don't know, books? Right? Why do you need like a summary of the book? Right? That's not good. Right? That's not a good idea. I know that the official material can be challenged. I know. Okay? Believe me, I've been through this. Right? But I still believe that the official material is the material that you need and nothing else. Well, how I support this argument? I support this argument in the following way. Imagine, and this is like a mosaic theory, okay? It's not really, I don't know for a fact, but I'm using a little mosaic theory here to kind of infer what I'm gonna say now. Imagine that whoever is writing, the PhDs and the CFA charter holders, they're writing the content, economics, QM, equity, etc., are gonna participate in creating the questions. Why not, right? Or imagine then who's going to create the questions are going to use the official material to create the questions. I think that's correct to assume. Well, with that in mind, every line in the official material could become a question in the exam. Every paragraph, anything there, say, okay, I'm going to take a look. I'm going to create a question from here, right? So if this is true, which I believe it is, right, or most likely I'm on the right side here, I believe that if I do the best I can to study from the official material, I'm increasing my chances to see a question with similar vocabulary, similar example. No, I'm not expecting to see identical questions. That's a little bit naive, no? So study the ecosystem, the 3,000 questions on the ecosystem. So most likely all of them are going to be in the exam. Wrong. No, don't believe that. Okay, the questions in the exam are going to be unique, but they're going to be similar. They're going to be with the same content or in the same way as the questions on the ecosystem. So when we study the ecosystem, you're going to see as you progress with the videos, you're going to see that the ecosystem is a good idea to understand the question and then imagine, okay, now how this question could be in the exam in a different way. Right? So change the alternatives, put 3 different alternatives and create the same question. Sure, that's an idea. Change the numbers, yes, or use one of the alternatives to create a question, right? And some of the content on the question becomes an alternative. I don't know, but everything here is possible. So try to think that way when you are studying the ecosystem, okay? All right. So one thing that I found extremely important, and you're gonna see that all the videos I start the classes, the teaching, the material, I start with the learning outcomes. Okay, learning outcomes are extremely important, in my opinion. I believe that those are the guidelines for the whole module that you need to study. In other words, if the learning outcomes are there, you need to know. You need to know how to answer each one of those learning outcomes. And the learning outcomes are gonna be expressed like. Describe this, explain that, right? Or contrast, calculate, something on that regard. So it's kind of like a command word and then something else. You'll see as we progress as you're going to progress on the course, you're going to see what I mean. I also strongly recommend you take a look on your ecosystem as well and take a look how it's done, how is what the learning outcomes of the modules are. I think it's important. It's usually one page. Just take a look, right? And try to say, okay, I need to know this, and that. Great. Now, I'm going to navigate the book. I'm going to watch the videos, okay, to grasp as much as I can to learn each one of those learning outcomes, right? Great. Now, what I'm going to do? Now I'm going to practice. Now I'm going to do the questions. I'm going to do the problems. I'm going to do the examples in the material. And that's it. And you keep this as a repetition. You keep doing this for every module. It's going to be a long process, but you get there, okay? So there are a couple strategies that you can do to make it more efficient, this process. One that I say is, okay, do the learning outcomes. So you're going to read the learning outcomes. Don't read the book yet. You can read the summary of the topic, which is in the end. It's like a little summary, kind of little, gives you a little detail, a little hints of the important points. And then, if you want, you watch the videos, these videos that we're making here for you, and then you're going to practice right away on the ecosystem. Okay? And then practice with the questions, with the answers already visible for you. Right? Take a look on the question and in the answer right away. Okay, don't challenge yourself yet. Okay, you're gonna cover much more questions, many questions. Right? Instead of 10 questions that you would cover in 1 hour, you could cover 20 or 30 if you just read the question, read the answer, read the question, read the answer. This in this preliminary approach is actually a good idea. And then, as you're gonna see, I'll show it to you as we go further on the videos, how to bookmark those questions on the ecosystem. So you bookmark those questions, and then you can review those questions only, right? And then you can review that without the answers, right? Then you can challenge yourself a little bit more. I think that's a great strategy. Once you did that, then it's fundamental that you go back to the material, the official material, and then you can take a look on all the contents. But I believe that you're going to digest a little bit easier the material if you do that. You have seen questions and examples before, you have watched the video, you have seen the learning outcomes and the summary of that module. Therefore, once you go and start reading page by page, or at least subtitles by subtitles, and try to understand more, I think it's going to be much easier, that process. All right, so that's my tip for you studying the official material. All right, continuing here, in the official material, as you can see here, CFAI official material, that's the source, right? I kind of put a little blurry because I don't like to share much the official material, okay? Although all of you have the official material because you have to sign up for the exam to have access to it, right? So, and if you're taking this course, I imagine that you sign up for the exam, okay? So, but anyway, let's just use this as an example. So on the official material, you're gonna see highlighted words. Well, highlighted words are important. So take a look on the highlighted words and see what they mean, okay? Highlighted words, okay? Another thing that I found very, very important and effective on the official material are the examples. So you're going to see it. Each learning outcome that you see on the first page, the first, the second, the third learning outcomes, they're going to be in the text, right? And as you move further, page by page, you're going to see there, okay, for second page, learning outcome 1, describe this. Then in explain, we explain there like 1 page, maybe 1.5 pages, and then, and that's important, after each learning outcome explanation, there will be a example. That's what I call the table examples, right? Or the examples. So the example will be related to the learning outcome. So you're going to see the first learning outcome, 1 example, then the second learning outcome, another example, and there it goes. So if you do the examples, you reinforce that learning outcome. That's another way, very strategic way I find to study for the material. Yeah? So use the material that you paid for, right? Like I said, $1,000, or if you did the early bird, $1,000. Now, if you're watching this video in 2024, so you have you got all this material. So should you use it? Okay, don't make the mistake, and I'm gonna share that with you. Don't make the mistake I made when I did the first exam. The first time I attempted level 1. Right? Which I unfortunately did not pass, right? But it was a good wake-up call for me. Well, why I didn't pass? I believe that's because I didn't touch the official material. Nope. I rely only on supplemental material from other providers, and I did not even touch the books that the CFA had in that time sent to us. Right? When I did the exam, at that time they used you could get the books. You still can, but it was an extra fee. But at that time, you actually purchased the books, right? You didn't have their online option yet, right? It was a while ago. Anyhow, right? I did not touch the official material, and I paid a price not passing the exam. That's what I believe. And I believe that because once I studied for the second attempt, level 1, and I studied the official material, and I focused on the official material, I ended up passing the exam with flying colors. So again, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe I heard a lot of stories on people that do not touch much the official material, use third-party materials and pass the exam. That might be true. It has to, you know, there's so many people that say that. At least one of them or a few of those testimonies are true, but I also believe that the testimony of those, including myself, that study the official material and pass the exam is also correct. And that's my approach, and that's what I believe you should do as well. All right, good. I think that's great. I'm done here. I think we can actually go back and conclude this introductory video. Okay, it was supposed to be an introduction, right? But I think there are good points here. It's a good start. Okay, now you can take a pause. Don't need to go to the next. Well, you can if you want. Obviously, each person is it's a person. But if you don't want to go right away to the content of the material, like the QM videos, which is the first ones after this, take a break, and then start it fresh, just like, you know, topic by topic. Okay? You can watch the videos and then see the material. On the videos, you're gonna see the learning outcomes. So you don't need to do the learning outcomes on the reading material because you're gonna get it here. Okay, but you can do the examples. You can go ahead and after watching the video, you can check and do some questions on the ecosystem, some practice questions, and then go back on the official material, see the examples, and then when you're comfortable, move to the next learning module. Okay. All right, friends, I really expect, I really hope, I really wish, okay, that you do well preparing for the exam. I really wish all of you passes on the first attempt, okay? You have more opportunities now than I had on my time. When we did the exams, there's only 2 options for level 1 and 1 option for level 2 and 3, right? So if you don't pass level 2, you have to wait a year to take the second one, and level 3 same deal, right? You have a little bit, you have more options now, but still, you want to make this as quick as possible, right? You want to get your charter as soon as possible, right? So you can start benefiting from the value that you're going to get it once you earn this title, which I believe it's getting more and more, not more and more important, but more and more valuable, because as you know, the CFA has changed in the content, have been incorporating topics that are very well in need for the financial market, right? And it's demanding more from the candidates, for example, creating the practical skill modules starting in 2024. Okay, so if you get the charter, if you earn the charter after passing the 3rd exam and, you know, and doing all the procedures that you have to do, then you're gonna get in your hands something with a lot of value, friends. I compare this with an MBA of a first-tier school, if you may, in the United States of America, okay? Or in any other country, like the top university, okay? That you may have there. And when I say top university worldwide as well, okay? For a fraction of the price that you would pay for an MBA in those schools. So think about that as a motivational factor, okay? Like I said, get in touch with me if you need it for any reason, okay? I want to be by your side helping you on this process. I cannot take the exam for you, obviously, and that's not what you want either, obviously, right? You want to make sure that you feel that satisfaction of getting by yourself. But whatever I can do to help you, please let me know. Okay, that's my intention. That's my really intention, is to see many, or more and more people that use my service here and preparing them for the exam, passing the exam. All right, I'm staying here. I'm actually finishing the video here. Good luck, and yeah, motivation is super important for you to conquer those steps. All right, so let's see.